Welcome, a place of silent mystery and outright mayhem. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything.
Load up the rocket ship with fuel, strap yourself in, pour yourself a cold one in, go on a galaxy, seek out new worlds.
Receiving incoming transmission.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement.
The number one rated robot-related podcast. The number one rated robot-related podcast. The number one rated robot-related podcast.
Soul Jam. Everybody, get up and slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam Podcast, episode 113. I'm Robin.
And I'm Whit.
And along with us today, we've got two very special guests.
So I'm the fourth wheel today.
You're the fourth wheel today.
Oh, okay.
That's right, yes.
That's fine.
Joining us is Brother Sean.
Howdy, folks.
From the Soul Forge podcast and the Rusted Robot podcast.
Which this will be a bonus episode of the Rusted Robot.
So this is...
This is canon, by the way.
What?
It's official.
It's official.
Oh,
it's canon
in the podcast world, yes. So this is the...
supersized bonus Easter episode.
That's right. And as well with us is my 12-year-old daughter, Trinity. My God, they grow up so quick.
My niece.
Yes, your niece. That's right.
No relations.
You're no relations.
Friends?
Sure, we're friends. We're pals.
You're friends, pals, like Scott Stanford. Anyway, so this is the, what were we calling, the Rusted Soul Jam?
The Rusted Soul Jam.
Yeah, the Rusted Soul Jam.
We are here live on location at the Forge of Souls.
In space.
All right, so we practiced that 100 times, but we got it, I think.
I think we got it. So this should be a real treat for you all.
All four
listeners.
14? How many? How many listeners are we going to get for this episode?
We got 11 last week.
Yeah, we got 11 last week.
We got 20 2 weeks ago when you were roasting your friends.
Yeah.
All right, on.
Maybe we'll have more because I'm here.
Maybe.
There you go.
You can
share it
I
to your
make too many
socials.
puns also.
Yeah, and you can tell everybody at school that you were on your dad's podcast,
Yeah,
and then
they
they'll
be
all
jelly.
listen. They'll be jelly.
And then those schools will tell the other schools, and then we'll have a network of podcasts.
Oh, good. And then all the schools will listen to all the previous podcasts.
And then boost their numbers.
Boost their numbers, and then it'll take her away. So
Most excellent. And if they listen to the Soul Forge podcast or the Rusted Robot podcast, then that's so many podcasts. That's literally hundreds of episodes between the two of us.
that's right.
So that's pretty fantastic.
That's like 300.
Yeah, there's a lot of listening content for you.
There is. Literally goes back years.
5 years. Yeah, 5 years of podcasts.
That's right.
That's half a decade. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So what are we talking about today, boys?
Well,
and girl.
What we've got a little bit of news. It's kind of been a slow week, but you know it's also Easter weekend, long weekend, and
Locally, it's been a busy week.
yes,
Is that true?
Yeah.
People buying Easter stuff.
Well, that too. Yeah. There's been some no-nos going on the social media networks.
that's right. Some netty no-nos.
Well, I've been off work for the last week, so I haven't really been paying attention to any of the social medias, any of the TV stuff. Did a 5.5 hour drive to the Sioux yesterday. Made it safely. Only saw a partridge on the road.
Oh.
Tell me, brother.
Yes.
What did I miss on social media this week?
Well, see, there is there's a website.
Oh, really?
There is a website.
Forums, yes.
It's like a forum, yes, where local females
Of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
who have shared their pictures.
I'm intrigued already. Tell me more.
With other people.
Like Pokemon cards.
Like Pokemon cards, these pictures are being traded
Oh, boy.
to people, and people are asking for other people, and it's a real greasy situation.
Sounds
And like
dangerous.
so on and so on.
Sounds dangerous, immoral, and just plain wrong.
You got it.
And I made a good point earlier in the week, too, when it started to explode. Back in the 90s, maybe 80s, well, you're a little older than we are, You could get away with doing stupid stuff.
You could.
You know, there was no evidence.
There was no internet. There was no social media.
Yeah. So you could get away with doing dumb stuff, you know? But nowadays...
You can't get
if
away
you
with
got
nothing.
one person, that thing explodes so quick. It's crazy. Technology has evolved.
I believe that the whole downfall of the human race will eventually be tied to the invention of the internet, video games, and smartphones.
And self-driving cars. Because the self-driving car a couple weeks ago, it was a self-driving Uber. It ended up killing a pedestrian.
Is that right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. And Alexa a couple weeks ago ended up just laughing maniacally.
I heard about that somewhere. Yes.
Yeah. Just out of the blue, they were in their kitchen, didn't even say anything. They're washing dishes, I think. And all of a sudden they heard Alexa in the background just laughing like, ha, 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 ha. And they're just
Creepy.
like, what is going on?
That's creepy for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Terminator's going to happen.
henceforth, years from now, when the archaeologists are looking back at the end of our civilization as we know it, it'll all be tied to the internet.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And everything
much.
that it spawned.
Yeah.
As I say this, coming to you guys live
From the internet.
From the internet.
From the internet.
In your ear holes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And of
But
course...
so, the more we talk to people on the phone, the less connection we have in real life.
It's true.
It's true.
It's very
It is
deep.
true.
It's
Very
very deep.
good point.
We're-
A 12-year-old knows this.
A 12-year-old. We're going to get perspectives of all ages here about that.
Get the F off my lawn, you kids.
That's some Gran Torino right there.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
But with the whole social media thing, I think it's time that if anyone has social media, they need to be taught proper etiquette. Yes.
Well, that too.
Because obviously you go on, you read something, you comment, and you just say whatever you want. And a lot of the times the comments they're not smart. They're not... There's no fact. They're not based on anything other than someone's opinion.
They're not articulate and they're not spelled properly.
Well, that too. And
That
they
too.
don't know how to use grammar. It's always crazy to watch. Even Sue Today comments.
Oh
YouTube
my God.
comments, same thing.
Same thing. I can't even.
Yeah. Yeah.
So?
That's the craze of the internet.
Yep.
So back to this website.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
There was a lot of outrage, obviously, going around, and the police were informed of it. But really, there wasn't so much that they could do because once you take a picture and send it to somebody, they have it.
Yeah, if you don't copyright it, guess what? It's free range.
How are you going to copyright a nudie picture?
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
you can put your whatever
watermark on it.
You could put a watermark on it, I guess,
Yeah.
but
But it's
And then
still out
there was two
Still out there.
arguments to this thing, okay? And then I see both sides, but I'm more towards on the woman's side, of course. The women are like, well, we take these pictures and thinking that we could trust the said person. And then you have the other side where it's like, okay, well, if you didn't take the picture, you wouldn't be in this problem, this situation. And it's like, well, I see both sides, but I'm more on the girl's side because, you know what? Their privacy should be, taken into effect.
absolutely. But I will just lay it to you in stone cold terms. DTA. Don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody.
Just don't take any pictures and send them to people,
Yeah.
or keep them to yourself. But I mean, even then, if you take a picture and you keep it to yourself, there's a chance it gets leaked to your drive or
the cloud.
The cloud,
And, that's the dangers of online.
That is the
social
dangers.
media and
Yeah,
all
so we're
that
telling
stuff.
you right now, little girl, don't take any pictures of yourself and send them to anybody.
Exactly.
Oh, I know.
See, you could take a picture of yourself, and I could come over and unlock your phone and take a picture of that, and then guess what? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So don't do that.
So don't do it.
No.
Just don't do it. Just try to be a little bit more.
And don't share the pictures that you do get because it's not a trading card. It's someone's life.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. How would you feel if
Picture of your stuff got out there to
Exactly.
the world. And
Exactly.
everybody laughed at how small it was.
Well, I mean,
It's a small subject. We don't need to go there.
It's touchy, too.
roast them, fam.
All right, moving right along. Did you hear that the Toys That Made Us on Netflix is getting picked up for a second season?
I did hear that.
Because I just told you, right?
You just told me.
Have you seen it on Netflix?
I've seen it on Netflix.
Have you watched it?
I have not watched it.
Wit?
I watched the first couple episodes. I'm so behind in TV, though. It's not even funny.
Wow.
I'm a little behind on things as well.
They had, if I remember correctly, they had an episode on G.I. Joe,
Yes.
Barbie, Star Wars, I don't think Transformers, but there was a fourth one which I can't quite remember. But
Thundercats?
No, unfortunately
Or
not.
He-Man?
Maybe He-Man. I think He-Man is actually it, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Yeah, but it was good. It was very in-depth. And they're supposed to have another 4 episodes for this season, and then they're going to have another season.
Oh, excellent.
So it's exciting.
Good.
It's a lot of good information. If you like toys,
I love toys.
as do I. Collector here for all my life.
Same.
Same with you. Yep, I know. Because who got you into that crap?
That would be you.
That would be me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
You're to blame for my financial problems.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far.
That's not.
I
even,
know. I know.
And
that hurt my brain. I heard it and I was like, no.
And speaking of financial problems,
Yeah.
I picked up your comic books from Jump City Comic Books.
That's right, you did.
At the 101 Mall in Timmins, and brought you your load.
Yep.
You now owe me millions of dollars
Millions
for
of
all these
dollars.
back issues. You are coming up to Timmins
I'll cover you.
Thanks.
April 21st and 22nd for the Northern Ontario Expo Comic Con Timmins.
That is correct.
You are coming for
Trinity and I will be there.
Trinity's coming too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll be in costume.
What are you going to be?
Halloween costume.
Okay, cool. And,
You're going to be a Halloween costume?
She's going to be a pumpkin.
Not spoiling.
You're going to be
any
Michael
surprises.
Myers?
No spoils.
So
No spinals.
you'll get to meet Paul Amos and Chris Holden Reed, as well as featured artists Terry Huddleston and Andrew Thomas, and your favorite,
My favorite.
wait for it,
Waiting.
Brampton Batman, along with the Batmobile from the 1989 Michael Keaton movie, all going to be there in Timmins, Ontario, April 21st and 22nd.
That is
I think
fantastic.
his Batmobile broke down a couple times last summer.
I think so.
Yeah, I read a couple newsprints where Brampton Batman's car broke down on the side of the road. I was like, if he was Brampton Batman, he would have that fixed. But then I remember Ontario has some bad potholes.
There are a lot of potholes. There's more potholes than there is road in most of this.
Yes.
On the highway, it's bad too.
It's bad everywhere.
It's bad everywhere.
It was a
Really
rough,
bad.
brutal winter.
Mm-hmm.
But suffice it to say, it'll be exciting to see you in 3 weeks.
That's right.
For
I'm looking forward to it.
And you may even have
Comic-Con
a
tickets.
surprise guest, depending on if I get time off.
So that wouldn't be really a surprise, would it? Because you just told me you're coming.
Maybe.
Possibly. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
See how people-y I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, a large group of people is called a no thanks.
Yeah, that's right.
It's true. You're absolutely right. Especially near Christmas time in the mall.
Yes.
Right, that's true.
But that's over for now, so let's not talk about that C word.
What else do you have for us on the list here of things to talk about?
Well,
speaking of Netflix, Trailer Park Boys Season 12 dropped today.
That's
There's
right.
12 seasons of that?
Yes.
I have seen 0 seasons of that.
You're
It's a
missing
good
out.
show.
It's a great show.
The movies are good too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
The Christmas
fantastic.
special's pretty good.
Oh.
Actually, I watch the Christmas special every year.
You got to have a little bit of a
White trash?
no, not white trash. You just got to
Open mind.
open mind and not take things so seriously
Oh,
and try to enjoy it.
My mind is so open, my brains fall out all the time.
Yeah, originally it was on Showcase.
Yeah.
And after years of it being in the air and rumors and stuff, they finally got their SwearNet productions in order, and then they got on Netflix and made. This is the 4th season now on
Yeah.
Netflix. So yeah, it's a really good show.
And of course
the newer
the-
season's okay, but
Yeah, and of course the last season featuring
John Dunsworth,
John Dunsworth, who
plays
played.
Mr. Leahy.
That's right.
Oh,
Passed
Because
away
he
last
right,
passed
I
away
remember
last
you guys
year.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think that was a crossover episode that we did, and we talked about it then.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
I think so.
I'm
Well,
pretty
I
sure.
think it was our Canadian.
Oh, it was
One.
July.
It was in
First.
July, yeah, because
Yeah,
we did.
150.
It was we talked about him and
Gord.
Downey from Tragically Hip.
Tragically Hip.
Yeah,
Maybe I called in for that one?
maybe you did.
Because
Yeah.
I remember talking about it with you guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was.
Right.
So
He was, he was here. I think he was here for that.
He may have been here for that.
I might have been here.
We'll have to go back into the archives and take a look.
Because there are a lot of archives.
There are a ton of
Wow.
archives.
Yes.
With episode 4 somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah, that's right. We still haven't found episode 4.
Is that right?
That's right.
We might re-record it one day
Yeah.
and just dub it episode 4.
Yeah,
You
we could do that. We won't, but we could.
It's an idea.
Maybe this will be episode 4.
Why not?
Why not?
It's
It could have been.
episode 5 in our series.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Of
It is
crossover
canon.
episodes?
Yeah.
Is this only our 5th crossover?
5th or 6th. We've been doing this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
God.
We've
Where
had a
did
few.
time go?
Because in Facebook Memories this past week, episode 102 of the Rusted Robot podcast was the one of the original episodes for you guys.
Oh.
It was the Batman Dawn of Justice.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Crossover.
That was our
So
first
that was-
crossover.
yeah, it was
that was
very-
episode 9 for us, I
There
believe.
you go. It was
Yes.
very early in the run.
Very early in the run.
That's true.
Other news that I had read earlier is that Arrow's Willa Holland, who plays Thea, has apparently left the show. And from whatever happened in this last week's episode, I haven't watched it yet, but they gave her some sort of send-off or something. But she's leaving the show. Now, let me just state, I didn't care for Thea at all in the entire series.
Would you say that Thea is the Iris of the Arrow universe?
I would say so.
Yeah, because you know what? Thea is
Or
leaving.
Felicity, maybe.
Maybe.
Felicity has more use than Iris, though.
Yes.
But so Thea's leaving. I've actually left watching all those shows this year. I haven't watched any of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because
You know what? They're getting kind of
ridiculous.
stale. It's stale for me. You know, I like the Flash still. Arrow, I'm done with.
I like them
Legends,
all.
I'm done with.
I like them all.
I'm really liking Black Lightning.
I am too.
Supergirl. Ugh, don't even
Supergirl, yeah. What was it? There, like the Flash, it's just basically become a parody of itself lately, I find, but it's still enjoyable. Legends of Tomorrow had a really good episode a couple weeks ago that was all about rock and roll, and they had to save the rock and roll music, and it had young Elvis Presley in it and stuff like
I
that.
thought they're gonna say Mozart.
No.
He's not rock and roll.
No, he's not rock and roll at all.
He's like
But he likes it.
classical.
He can't hear you though.
Nah. So, and Black Lightning has actually surprisingly been really good.
I was surprised.
Yeah. And so we had a new show drop called Krypton.
Yes, I did manage to finally watch the first episode this week. It was okay, but I don't care.
I have an actual review.
Really?
I have a review.
That you wrote?
That I wrote.
Oh, wow.
If they do what I'm thinking they should do and involve Green Lantern, I think the show will do okay.
See, my problem was I just didn't care.
Yeah.
No, you know
Same.
what? I watched the first episode. I'm like, who cares?
I watched the first episode as well, and here is how I can break it down
Read
the
us your
best.
review.
I will read you my review. So for Krypton, it has potential to be good. Brainiac is the hook, obviously, in the show, because if you're interested in that villain, you're going to want to see Brainiac. But you need to be a Superman fan for this ride, which I am not. And maybe I don't want to watch them succeed and save humanity. F them. Let Superman die. But of course, this show is about time traveling and changing the future gimmick as well. Because we have that character.
The kid?
The kid.
In the Detroit Tigers hat?
Yes.
And the hoodie?
And the hoodie.
Who doesn't stand out in the crowd of superhumans at all?
Exactly.
Right.
So I already watch enough of those shows, and I'm not invested. Maybe if there's absolutely nothing else on, sure, I'll watch it. But, okay. But yeah, no, it's a no for me. I'm not going to...
It's got the same problem as all prequels. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. You can't
I'd feel like
make
if
any...
they made a Krypton movie and you know what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah.
The beginning of every Superman movie in the first sequence.
I've seen Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Me too.
I know
That was a
it
great
exists.
show, actually. I used to watch that with you guys.
Yeah, you did.
And I enjoyed that show, but I didn't. I just don't like, especially now that I'm older and I know everything with, like, the Superman and the Krypton and Batman and everything else. I just, no, I don't want to see them succeed.
You gotta admit, though, Superman was pretty badass in Justice League.
He was, but...
They really... Here's the thing. Okay, I said the same thing watching Justice League. They didn't need the Justice League. They only needed Superman.
Yeah.
I'm
They
sorry,
needed-
I don't like Superman, but that movie, I'm like, okay, why do they need the Flash? Why do they need Cyborg? Superman could do this on his own.
Because of the mother boxes, and that's how they brought him back to life. And they needed the Justice League to be the team that brought Superman back.
Superman versus Batman Dawn of Justice. That's what our first episode crossover was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Martha. Save Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Oh. And people give me, they're like, you always bring it up. Yeah, because it's my biggest gripe of that whole universe.
Okay.
They're teaming up because their moms have the same names, not because of the giant thing right there coming towards you and coming to blow stuff up.
Hey, moms are important.
I agree.
And the fact that they have the same name, coincidentally, is kind of awesome. In a roundabout.
In a very lazy writer fashion of comics and characters, but
That's
I
right.
digress.
That's right.
But speaking of mums, you should be able to like respect them for what they do for you.
You should.
Yeah,
Like-
Superman's mom.
Like
Yeah.
they give you everything you need. Like
And sometimes more.
And sometimes more.
And sometimes they get rewarded because Batman bought the house and the cottage and the whole farm.
That's right.
Because
That's right. Superman bought the farm.
No, Batman did.
Batman bought the
It's
farm.
too bad Superman didn't
Yes.
buy the farm.
That is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
He could have just stood there and they go like, "We're taking your land now." He's like, "Are you?
Are you
Fight
really?
me for it."
Yeah, that's right.
Fight me.
All right, we got Kryptonite still. Let's get it done.
Speaking of people buying the farm, we were talking about the Netflix show Santa Clarita Diet.
Right, yes.
Okay, so season 2 recently dropped. And
Which I finished last weekend. I binged it.
oh, so you've watched all of season 2?
Yeah.
Okay, well, get this. It came out last year.
That's right.
And everybody and their brother was talking about this great show, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to watch it.
I've
because-
told a lot of people about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was too trendy. Everybody was talking about it. I was like, you know, I'm not going to do it. But season 2 dropped last week, and so I told Cheryl. I said, Cheryl, you know what? Let's give season 1 a try just to see what everybody was talking about. And we binged all 10 episodes in about 2 days. And so now we have to start season 2, but we came here instead. But we actually really liked it.
It's funny.
And
It's
disgusting.
And disgusting. But it's like I guess it's a zombie show, but it's not your typical
Zombie
show, and it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's comical, and it's
Is it like iZombie or whatever? It's
I've
called?
never watched that, but this has got Drew Barrymore in it.
yeah. And the I forget the actor's name who plays her husband, but
Timothy Oliphant.
he reminds me a lot of Billy Bob Thornton.
I was thinking he
Wasn't he a
reminds
James
me
Bond?
a lot of Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh wow,
That's who he reminds me.
really?
Yes.
I was thinking Billy Bob Thornton.
I could see a Billy Bob.
Like
Billy
he
Bob crossed
kind of
with Bo
looks
Duke.
like yeah.
Billy Duke, we'll call
You
him.
call him Billy Duke.
Billy Bob Duke.
Yeah, and
Which Timothy was the James Bond? What was his last name?
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, the Dalton.
Yeah, not the same guy.
not. The
I know.
same
I was
guy.
like, wait,
Definitely
wasn't
not
he
the
a
same
James Bond before Pierce Brosnan? No,
Yeah, yes.
not the same guy.
Yes, he was, but just
But yeah.
different guy.
different guy.
Has no attachment to this TV series. But speaking of awesome TV series, did you guys watch the bonus content from season 1 of Star Trek Discovery, where there's like a 3-minute scene? You can find it on the Rusted Robot Facebook page, and it's teasing a lot of Captain Georgiou, Mirror Universe Georgiou, and Section 31, and how that'll tie into season 2.
Oh my God! Way.
It's
Didn't they
quite
come on.
exciting.
Didn't they show the Enterprise at the end of season 1?
They did at the very last episode, the very last 30 seconds. They did show the Enterprise NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I had to
Blew
wait
my
to
mind.
watch Discovery because the Orville was on at the same time. I know they're not the same kind of show, but they are kind of at the same time.
They both take place in space. and
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I can't watch 2 space shows. I can't watch.
Your,
it's
imag-
hard-
your imagination is very limited, Wit. You
Well,
need to expand
I'm
your
watching
repertoire.
20 shows at the same time. I'm picking and choosing here.
Like at the very same time? Like,
Yeah, I'm
you have
watching
20
The
TVs
Flash.
all, like,
No,
how do you
but-
keep that straight?
I do back to back.
It's
so
tough
kind
to
of the
watch
same.
all the TV shows because we're oversaturated now.
I'm
And
7
I'm not
weeks-
complaining. I'm just saying it's
Too
a
much
lot.
pop culture.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm 7 weeks behind in Riverdale. I'm disappointed in myself.
I've never seen any of that.
I
It's
watched first episode, couldn't get into it.
It's really good. And they introduced Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, nice.
She'll have her own show soon.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
doing a
so
whole little spin-off thing.
Really cool.
But not Melissa Joan Hart, unfortunately.
Who knows?
That would be fantastic.
It's the new Sabrina
Yeah.
from the new series that's coming out eventually.
Yeah.
Whenever that may be.
Soon enough.
Soon enough.
Soon enough. It's no TGIF
And,
anymore. Let's just say that.
Buffy's got a reboot possibly.
Yeah.
I've heard about this. Yes.
And we
Damn
gotta wait
reboots.
for the reboot.
Yeah, reboots
No, that's
upon
gonna be
reboots.
What is your opinion on that? Josh and I talked about it.
Oh my
the
God.
Reboot.
I
I said my brother is probably going to hate it.
I did.
Did you?
I loved Reboot
Yes.
back in the day when I watched the trailer for it. You know what it reminded me of?
What?
It reminded me
Garbage?
of it reminded me of Garbage, all right. It reminded me of the new Power Ranger
That
film.
movie wasn't garbage. I liked it.
The new Power Ranger film was actually not bad.
I'm not saying that.
But this reboot thing, is that a TV show or a movie?
I think it's a TV show, but that's what it reminded
It's
me
gonna
of.
be
It
Netflix.
reminded me
Yes.
of Power Rangers
Crossed with-
crossed with
Other junk.
other junk
Remix
reboot.
with Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it's not even reboot. It's
Same
just
as
got the little
symbol.
It alludes to it, but it's not
It's
reboot.
it's not
Where's
your-
Frisket? Damn it!
It's not your father's reboot.
Well,
That's right.
Yeah.
just like Ninja Turtles aren't your Ninja
Exactly.
Turtles.
Those new Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it has
Gross.
to be 80s Ninja Turtles or nothing.
I like the 2003 one.
You're incorrect, sir.
Well,
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
I will state it for the fact on the podcast here. Episode bonus Easter episode of Rusted Robot. Maybe an episode of Soul Forge if I put it on the feed. And episode 113 of the Space Jam podcast. You are incorrect.
I digress. I thought it was darker and better.
All right, you can
That's just
digress.
me.
That's fine.
We're allowed to have
just-
our own opinions,
That's right.
man.
That's right. I'm just being overly dramatic because
You
that's
are.
fun.
Yeah.
And I don't have to edit this at all.
I know.
It's your job to
It's
edit.
all my job.
So I'm looking forward to seeing
As
what
long
you
as
come
we
up
can
with.
agree the new one does look like crap, and it could potentially be okay, but like I said, the two twin turtles eating each other to make Raphael.
Yeah.
I don't dig it.
Yeah,
they're
no.
all. I guess they're all different types of turtles. Too.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
It's just not right.
It's just not right. In other news, we got we were told that the Dark Phoenix X-Men film and the New Mutants film have gotten pushed back
I heard about this.
for reshoots.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, with New Mutants, it was to add a little bit more horror to it.
Oh, well, from the trailer, it looked pretty horrific already.
Yeah, but I guess they were going to do a little bit more. I'm not sure what the reason for Dark Phoenix was, other than more reshoots. But here's something interesting. At the end of New Mutants, there was a scene that was filmed with John Hamm as Mr. Sinister.
Oh.
Apparently, that's been
Cut.
and now Antonio Banderas is playing some sort of villain.
Oh.
So
Which continuity that doesn't make sense because
we
in
already introduced...
X-Men Apocalypse. They
Yeah.
already had Mr. Sinister's company and everything
Yeah.
be introduced there. So it's like
Because they took it's a sample of Wolverine's blood,
Yeah.
and that's how they were going to start, I guess, trying to get him
because
in
they-
there. But
they showed Berserker Wolverine going nuts, and
Mm-hmm.
we were thinking, okay, so the next movie's gonna have that. Well, we got Logan instead, which I'm not complaining
That was
about.
fantastic.
it was a
film.
fantastic
Really good
film.
movie.
Do you think this change, this reshoot, these pushback delays have anything to do with the Fox-Disney merger?
See, I thought that too.
It's a possibility because there's a lot of reshoots going on. Even Deadpool 2 got a whole bunch of reshoots.
Well, there was a
Deadpool 2
secret
got reshot?
cameo. There was a secret cameo, I guess.
Yeah.
But see, with this new X-Men
Oh, yeah,
series,
it turned out to be Terry Crews for his character
Yeah.
in the whole X-Force.
But see, Dark Phoenix could be a good way to introduce the Skrulls,
yeah,
and they can introduce the actual cast for the X-Men with the.
I just thought of something
in the future.
Oh my, no! I just thought of something because Captain the Captain Marvel movie, which Mr.
This year,
Phil
I think.
Coulson is.
In it,
He's-
because it takes place in the 90s.
It takes
so-
place in the 90s. You know what else takes place in the 90s? Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
What if we get that
crossover.
there?
Almost like
You have to watch this movie first before you watch this movie.
Because with Avengers 4 not being Infinity War Part 2, it's a good chance it'll be the Secret Invasion story arc. Which,
see, we're on to
what
something.
if they did
Whoa.
Marvel Zombies?
that'd be fun. I don't think I'd be
They could
part
do a
of
one-off of that.
Yeah,
they
they
did
could.
Logan.
Yeah,
Why not? Doesn't have to be a part of the universe.
but I mean, that
Or that'll
would
be the last movie.
Yeah.
That'll be the last movie in 40 years when we're all dead.
No, the last movie should be Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, but nonetheless.
Nonetheless.
Oh, and I was getting pissed at Stanley's social media. 'cause
What happened now?
Well, it's I don't know if
He's
you
had
saw
a rough
about
time.
Chris Evans, they confirmed something about Chris Evans, and a lot of people are like, well, we all know he dies, whatever. I'm like, but what if he doesn't? What if he just retires?
Mm-hmm.
What if Tony Stark doesn't die in this movie either? You know, he's.
I'm
the
expecting we're going to
he's
have
the
a
head of
couple
S.H.I.E.L.D., you
people
know?
have to go.
He's
They've
the
been
new
teasing
director.
a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what I guessed it. There's going to be a lot of deaths, and then Two Stone's going to revert time back before, and they're going to learn from the mistakes, and that's how they're going to defeat Thanos.
Maybe.
That's my guess.
It was
I'm
all a
sticking
dream.
to it. That's
But we
pretty much
still
what they
don't
could do.
have the missing
The soul.
the soul gem.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They're going to find that stone and revert all the damage done by Thanos.
You can find the Soul Stone on the Soul Forge podcast.
That's right.
There you go.
There
See?
it is. Nice plug.
That's my guess. And I guess a couple things so far in these movies, so I'm going to take my accuracy and hope that it's right.
Well, we only have to wait till April 27th to find out if
That's
you are
right.
correct, sir.
Yeah. And so
Not far now.
May, whatever it was.
Because as we were recording this, today is March 30th.
That's right.
2018. So when the historians from the future, as they've dug through whatever digital bits remain of the remnants of our failed society, and this podcast happens to be one of the ones and zeros that are still in existence.
That's right.
We'll see that this
In the
was
year
done.
3000 when Futurama was set.
Yeah.
That's our future.
See, I just kind of went off on that.
You
It,
kinda
it
did.
didn't flow very well because I was just making it up as I went along.
That's okay.
But,
That's what we do.
Yeah. All right.
That's our lives.
It was a thing.
It's our
We're
lives.
just making our lives up as we go.
That's pretty much it. Also, there was the for the channel FX Deadpool.
Sean's
Cartoon.
head exploded if you missed that.
No, I didn't. Why? What happened?
I don't know.
I said we make our lives up as we go, and he's like,
I had like a brief thought of something poignant and philosophical and deep, and then I lost it.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
how we get you.
the
See, we're the soul stones. We suck the soul. Right
yeah,
out
we
of you.
do. That's why nobody likes us. So the Deadpool cartoon that was being produced and created by what's his face?
There was a Deadpool cartoon.
Yes, it was in development.
Yeah.
There was a script all
Written and stuff.
written for it.
Donald Glover,
Childish
Gambino.
if you will.
Isn't that what's his name?
Miles Morales.
Lando Calrissian.
Or that too.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to do a good job as Lando.
In the Han
Han.
Solo movie that
The
nobody
Hani.
seems to be talking about or care about.
No.
But everybody's going to go watch it.
There's been really no
Hype about
hype
it.
for
No
it.
hype. Nobody
No.
cares.
It's
Nobody
because
cares.
the guy who plays Han Solo, they don't want to see him as Han Solo, so
Yeah.
they just complain. And
But back to the Deadpool cartoon.
Yeah.
So there's a script and there's
Yeah,
pre-production.
there was actually some test footage leaked, and it used the same audio from the Deadpool movie.
Okay.
It was kind of like deja vu all over again, how they released the test footage of the Deadpool movie,
right.
and now they're releasing the test footage of the cartoon. It looks like it could be fun, like it would be from.
I'm going to unalive them.
I'm going to unalive them, but almost like the Deadpool video game, where it was just so ridiculous
And raunchy.
and like he's falling out of the sky and he has lost his arms and his legs,
And
it's
his
just,
arm looks like the typical cartoon arm.
Yeah.
Where it looks like it's a pork chop, pretty much.
Okay.
yeah. So he's flying through the air and just with his body and his head, and they use the quote from the movie, "Oh, I'm touching myself tonight," but he's flying through the air and he has no way to touch himself, so it's even funnier.
How did I miss this? Where's this?
Well, I posted it in the Space Jam group today.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
See, I haven't really been online today because I've
That's
been
fair.
doing a bunch of visiting here while I'm in Sault Ste. Marie to visit my family and my friends, and I've been doing that, and I haven't been online.
That's fair.
But
That's
I'm
fair.
glad you're telling me.
So
You're
old FX was saying that Donald Glover's timetable was not open enough for this to continue on, and Donald Glover responded with, "I have all the time in the world, pretty much."
Yeah.
So are they saying there's not going to be a Deadpool?
That's what they're
cartoon?
telling us. But there's a chance it'll get picked up
yeah,
somewhere.
I think
and-
Netflix will, because Marvel,
Netflix, Savior of the Universe.
or it'll go on the Disney.
Amazon Prime,
No,
Disflix.
doesn't when
Hulu?
Disney have their streaming service, when that comes out, because it's under Marvel technically.
Does
It could-
Netflix.
Huh?
Does Netflix.
Yeah.
Or Diz Netflix.
Diz Netflix. So there you go. There's that. So there's a chance it could get picked up. I'm hoping it does. It would be fun to watch.
Well, I'm very disappointed that a show that I didn't even know about isn't being made, possibly. This is sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
What else you got for me?
Well, it has been confirmed that John Cena, you can't see him, is on board to play Duke Nukem in a film based off of the video game from
I'm
the
excited
90s.
for it.
Who's John Cena?
Who isn't John Cena?
He's a pro wrestler who has been in the main event scene for the last 10 years of our lives. Not so much last year, the year before, but
He will be going
Time.
one-on-one with The Undertaker at WrestleMania next week. American Badass.
I thought The Undertaker died.
No.
no, he comes back every year.
No, like the real guy died.
No.
Oh,
Then-
no.
Then the actor who played The Undertaker
No.
died?
That was fake news.
Yeah, that's fake news.
Oh, that wasn't real?
That's not
No.
real.
Oh.
Paul Bearer died. His manager.
Oh, is that
The
what
guy
it
who
Yes.
had the urn and said, "Oh yes."
was?
Yeah.
And that, when did that happen?
That He died, what?
5 years ago?
Yeah, about 5 years ago or
Oh,
so.
well, didn't I see news on Facebook about 5 months ago that the Undertaker died?
No, you probably saw one of the fake articles going around. There's been a lot of those with celebrities and stuff.
Yes.
Undertaker was one of them, but yeah, no, that was not real.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger went under the knife yesterday or this morning to
For real?
heart surgery.
Oh, yeah?
He had to go get something fixed on himself, and then as soon as he recovered and woke up from his surgery, you know what he said?
What?
I'm back.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that real?
That was real. That's a real news.
I approve of this.
Me too.
If that's a real happening.
Classic Arnold.
A real event that happened?
It was a real event that
like
happened.
It a lot.
Yeah.
And John Cena, I always see him on the social media stuff. People are showing John Cena and you can't see him and all this stuff. What is all that about?
Well, because he has as part of his gimmick in wrestling and stuff, he'd go, "You can't see me,"
And then he does a 5-knuckle shuffle.
and then he does a 5-knuckle shuffle.
Is it because his last name is Cena?
No,
Cena.
I've seen enough.
Seen enough, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen enough.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's
That's
not-
just his thing. Just
Okay.
So
He's just a weirdo?
yeah.
He was on Ellen the other week.
He was?
No, he was on Ellen Tuesday.
Last week. I
No,
believe.
this week, Tuesday. I was watching it.
Oh, was it
at
this
the
week?
gym, and it was pretty interesting. It's funny to watch him in a suit. He's got no neck.
Right. Yeah.
So
'cause
you
he's-
see the suit up to here, and he's just a floating head, pretty much like this, jacked. You know he feels uncomfortable in the damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a monkey suit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
All right. So that's
Crack and pops.
crack pops. Okay, that's
No.
really all I got for the news in the pop culture world. What do you guys have? Anything?
No, so yeah, I've been off, and I gave you my Star Trek Discovery news.
Yeah.
I gave you the Toys That Made Us news. Episode 42 of the Soul Forge podcast came out this week, and it was all about the meaning of life and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Right.
and the life of Stephen Hawking. And it was a crossover episode with my good buddy Paul Wright from the UK.
Yes, Paul Wright.
Yeah, Furbob.
Yeah, Furbob.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we talked about the Hitchhiker's Guide, the meaning of 42, the meaning of life.
That's
It was a
cool.
really
So
deep
long,
Right
episode,
on.
thanks
I'll have
for all
to-
the fish.
I'll be looking forward to listening to that one later on.
as you should.
Trinity, what news do you have? Do you have anything to bring to the table here?
I don't believe so.
You don't, eh?
Have you been watching any cool cartoons?
Not recently, no.
Comic books, have you read?
A few.
Yeah?
So long.
Who's your
thanks
favorite?
For all the fish.
Who's your favorite comic book character?
That's a big
That's
topic.
That is
That's
a big
deep.
topic. That is deep. Okay, one of your favorites, not the favorite, but tell us a few favorites of yours. Then.
See, I got different types of favorite comics where I have favorite characters from.
Yeah.
So that's a big question. Like in The Walking Dead, I have a favorite character there. And then in The Watchmen, Rorschach's my favorite. And then in Batman, Nightwing's my favorite. And then in Spider, and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
there's like a favorite character for each story or
Yeah.
each whatever. But I mean, I've mentioned my favorites numerous times.
Hulk's always been my favorite. When as a kid, I liked Spider-Man, but
Yeah,
growing up, I'm
We all
whatever.
like Spider-Man.
we all
Yeah,
like
that's-
Spider-Man.
that's-
Yeah,
That's how he was. He was Marvel's mascot, in my opinion.
he was in the '90s, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. But Hulk's always been my favorite. I've always enjoyed Thor. Deadpool was in my top 10 until it became oversaturated.
Yeah, yeah,
It melted
Too
my brain.
trendy.
yeah. Way too trendy.
Yeah.
I mean, I still obviously like it very much, but nobody knew who Deadpool was, 6 years ago,
That's right.
and now everyone's a Deadpool expert.
Nobody was a fan when Wolverine Origins came out. We were still fans, but all these wannabes, I'll call them wannabes because
You know what? I was really Ryan Reynolds did a great job as Wade Wilson
Yeah,
in that
100%.
movie. But then when they turned him into Deadpool, I was so disappointed. I was like, "What did you do?"
They gave him like mutant powers, like
Yeah.
different mutants. Like he had Cyborg's powers, Wolverine's powers, Sabretooth's powers, I believe.
Yeah, he had a whole
So he
mixture.
had a whole. He was a pool of mutants.
Yeah,
in one
and they
guy.
sewed his mouth shut.
Yeah,
like-
and like
That's
and then,
his main thing, is his mouth.
And then
How
the after
ironic.
credits showed him go. Shh.
That was
Like
like
that's not Deadpool.
that was super
Yeah.
ironic. It was like 10,000 spoons when all you needed was a knife.
It's like when you're stuck in traffic and you're already late.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when you win the lottery and then you die the next day,
It's like a no smoking sign on your cigarette break.
right? And I have got one hand in my pocket and
And
the
the-
other one's giving a high five.
That's right.
That's some 90s Alanis reference.
That's
for you
some
people
nice,
who may not be aware.
Yeah, that's right. A little Alanis Morissette for you.
Because that's how Dad did it. That's how America does it, and it's worked out pretty well so far.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I've
been waiting all episode to get that in. I had to shoehorn it, but there it is. I've said it. I'm done.
So did you guys finish Jessica Jones season 2 yet?
Yes.
Finally.
There's a joke in that series that I think is the best joke in the whole MCU.
Which is what?
Their Nirvana joke.
I recall it, but I can't
joke,
think of it right now.
It's like, you listen to Nirvana, that guy's depressing. Didn't he shoot himself or something like that? He's like, Nirvana's not depressing. I laughed at the gym. I was like, the delivery of the line she said and her mom just combined was hysterical.
Yeah.
There's funny parts in every single movie.
Yeah, because they said never mind too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that Nirvana joke killed me. It was probably the best joke so far in the MCU.
And the fact that you can remember it is impressive, because
Yes.
I do not.
Yeah, it's when they're trying to get close to each other and learn about each other.
Yeah, I enjoyed season 2. I thought it was good.
It was way better than season 1.
Yeah.
Big time.
Like,
It was-
season 1
had
I
quite the-
forget about sometimes.
Had that twist, you know? It had the twist, and then you were all like, "Oh!" And
About the mom?
Yeah.
Because I'm not done yet. I got 2 episodes left.
It was the twist with the mom, and then
Well, you kind of seen it coming because they kept bringing up her family in an accident, and then she shows up, and you're like, "Well, is that her mom, or is that like the girl who caused the accident?"
Yeah, and then they figured out who the meat monster was,
Yeah.
and all that little
I'm not that.
all that
yet.
good stuff. So yeah,
Like I said, the Wizard.
the wizard.
They could have borrowed $10 million from their gigantic revenue they made, from the billions they've made. Even from Black Panther, they could have grabbed money and went back and reshot it. Because the effects on Wizard were terrible.
Yeah, well, Wizard isn't a.
It's a TV division budget that had nothing to do with
It's definitely.
So
it's
they
an
will
ABC network show, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
You got Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. looking phenomenal.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's okay.
it's
The space stuff I'm over now. I wish
Yeah.
I would go back.
it's almost done.
Like, you would think with them in space there would have been some connection to be like, oh, look at that ship coming towards Earth.
You know what? We've been hoping for that, but I think by the end of this season, it's supposed to do something.
Isn't it the final
It might be.
episode?
They're going to write it as it's the final, but there's still a chance that they could get a season 6.
Well, I mean, they're in space, and you know what else is in space? Thanos is in space.
They're not in space anymore.
But I mean, when they were,
Yeah.
at the same time Thor Ragnarok happened.
Yeah, but that wasn't
The Guardians are in space.
current time, though. It
But-
wasn't present time. It was in the future.
Still, though, they could have connected that.
They could have done a lot of connecting, which they've been failing to do so, but, I mean, hey.
I mean, if we get Daredevil and, even if we just get Daredevil in the movie, The Infinity War, that'd be cool.
I don't see that happening.
Because they're in New York.
Yeah.
In Infinity War, they're in Wakanda.
While we're talking,
They're everywhere.
No, they're both.
Are they both?
While we're talking about space, did you hear the news about how they lost control of the satellite?
Oh, the Chinese
The
satellite.
Chinese
Yeah.
satellite. Yeah.
You know what I watched this morning?
What?
I watched on Facebook Live. I watched the SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket with 10 satellites launch into space successfully.
Oh, good.
I believe.
I
didn't
love
know-
Elon Musk. He's a beautiful man.
He's so handsome,
I love Elon.
And
I love
debonair.
the Tesla cars. I love everything.
sophisticated.
Yeah, he's going to be
Handsome.
the one that gives us the real hoverboards,
Yes.
not the crappy.
We are
ones with
pro
wheels.
Elon Musk up in here. That's right.
Up in this
But
house.
the Chinese satellite, apparently parts from it are going to crash into the Earth.
Yeah.
But by the time it gets to the atmosphere, it'll
Most
be burnt
likely
out.
it'll be all burnt
Yeah.
up and it won't cause really any.
Maybe it'll cut holes in the ozone layer, and that's how we die.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's how
already
the new
holes in the ozone layer.
civilization
Ozone layer's
starts.
almost gone, bud.
Yeah, they say the Earth's going to blow up, or the sun's going to blow up in a couple billion years.
Yeah,
I wish it would stop threatening us with a good time.
Same. I wish it would happen right now. Gosh.
Before you edit this podcast and get it out to the world, you hope that happens?
No.
I would hope not. You have to get at least this episode out.
Well, the solar flares, nobody would be able to listen to it anyways.
Oh, more sadness.
More sadness.
You guys are deep, dark, and depressing.
See,
Yes.
we could be talking right now, and just kidding, we didn't die. There was a movie a couple of years ago with Nicolas Cage, Knowing.
Oh, God.
Man,
that
I
was
like
terrible.
that. What?
That was
That's
terrible.
the only Nicolas Cage movie I like besides Face Off.
Really?
And Kick Ass.
I liked it.
Con Air is the best movie ever. It's my favorite.
No, National Treasure.
Con Air's better.
But
Con Air is
Knowing
good.
was really good.
I liked it for the beginning, and then the middle, and then the last bit of it, I was just like, what in the God's
Tree of
name is
Life.
happening here?
Are you getting Knowing mixed up with Next? Because those are both Nicolas Cage movies, right?
No, Knowing was the one with the apocalypse ending. the
Yeah,
Earth,
I
and
didn't
they had
like
to
it.
Go to the Tree of Life.
I didn't
planet.
like that ending. I just thought it was. I thought it was just.
Knowing is half the battle. Okay.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned for our upcoming crossover podcast, the Nicolas Cage episodes.
Oh,
I'm not going to show up for that. I'll miss my one episode if that's what we do.
that's okay. We're going to talk about Nicolas Cage next week.
No. That we're going to start a new podcast.
Oh,
It's going to be called.
that could be your spinoff.
Yeah, me and
All
Robin
right.
are just going to have our own. It'll be my third podcast. It'll
Yeah.
be your second podcast. It'll be, what do we call it?
I'll talk kick-ass
I don't
with
know.
you guys. That's
Nick
it, though.
Cagerous. Like Nicholas Outrageous, but Nick Cageous?
no.
No, that doesn't work.
Nick
right?
Cagerous.
I don't know.
Out Cagerous.
How about Under the Cage?
How about Uncageable?
Uncaged with Sean and Robin.
Oh, there you go.
The Cage Match, starring Robin and Sean.
All right, so the name clearly needs work.
Clearly, we'll have to work on that.
So moving right along.
Moving right along, we're
How
going
about
to
you talk about some dead people?
well,
No,
first
we got to do Florida Man.
we got to talk about
Yep.
Florida Man first.
Oh, right, Florida Man.
Florida Man headlines.
Is
This is
Trin
where
allowed
I
to-
come in.
This
Yeah,
is
I was just gonna say, is Trin allowed to say some of these?
Yeah, she can say the first one. Read the first one that says Florida Man.
Florida man was arrested for calling 911 to ask dispatchers to find the singers Drake and Lil Wayne.
Drunk Florida Man yells, "Come and get me!" to deputies, is arrested.
Florida man who owes more than $500,000 in child support went missing after allegedly taking off into the Atlantic on his paddleboard and has since disappeared.
Florida Man drove drunk on scooter with dog and shopping bag.
Let's stop right there. Who in their right minds would do that?
Florida Man.
Florida Man. The Florida Man can.
The
Trin.
Florida Man can.
Does Florida Man have a cape
Yeah.
and a scepter
Yeah, he does.
and fancy shoes?
I don't know how fancy the shoes are, but
He has them.
he has them.
All right.
Probably wears Crocs, to be honest.
Hey,
What's
there's
wrong
nothing
with
wrong
Crocs?
that.
Nothing. I've
don't
had
like
my
them.
Crocs since 2005, friends.
There we go. See, me and your brother get along in the Croc department and podcast
What
department.
a crock.
And pop culture department.
Yes, sir.
And finally, Florida Man wearing Budweiser shirt arrested for DUI on a golf cart.
That sucks.
Now can we talk about the dead people?
Now we can talk about the
Because
dead people.
on the Rusted Robot podcast, whenever a celebrity dies, I bring it up, and Josh says, "Oh, there goes Sean again, talking about the sadness." So let's talk about the sadness at
Well,
the
there's
end.
always sadness.
There's sadness is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
Crippling depression.
Crippling depression and sadness.
And
Speaking
social
of sadness.
Social anxiety.
Sadness comes from me. All of it comes from me.
Actually, you know what?
Oh, God.
If you want to know about, what was it? Crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
Some kind of depression. What kind?
crippling depression.
Crippling depression.
Social anxiety.
Social anxiety.
Yeah.
And stuttering. That's all episodes that we talk about on the Soulforge podcast.
Oh, I
There
have
you
all
go.
of
Or
that.
upcoming, if they haven't already been discussed.
There you go.
Yes. And
Nice.
anybody who would like to be on the Soulforge podcast as a guest, I can Skype with them or Zoom with them.
You know, it's funny because somebody had mentioned to me the other day that he would love to be a guest on the Soulforge podcast.
SoulforgePodcast.com.
This guy right here.
All right. Well, let's not spoil it here.
No?
Yeah, no spoilers.
Let's talk about some dead people.
Okay, let's
All
talk
right.
about the dead celebrities of the week. We're going to kick it off with Bill Maynard, 89 years old. He was an English actor in Heartbeat, Confessions of a Window Cleaner, and Carry On.
Never heard of them.
Me neither.
Okay. Who else you got?
Anita Shrev, 71, American author, The Pilot's Wife, The Weight of Water, and Stella Bain.
Yeah.
I think I have heard of The Weight of Water, although I have not read any of those books or ever heard of this lady.
Mm-mm.
We've got Deshawn Manick Brown, who was 49. She was an actress in Chicago Fire, Prison Break, and Unexpected. I think I did see that headline.
Yes.
I don't know who that was.
She sure did die unexpectedly.
Ah, wow. Rusty Staub, 73 years old, American baseball player for the New York Mets, Montreal Expos, and Detroit Tigers.
I don't believe I collected any of his baseball cards.
Peter Monk, 90, Hungarian-born Canadian mine owner, Barrett Gold, and
Philanthropist.
We did this. We had a hard time with that one. last week,
Philanthropist.
He gave away money.
He gave away money, and he was...
Part of the Toronto General Hospital.
that's right.
Yes.
too. Caleb Schofield, 38, he was American rock bassist and singer Kevin Zozobra and Old Man Gloom.
I haven't heard of. I've never heard of any of those bands.
Me neither.
That's cool.
I am Old Man Gloom, though.
Yeah, same.
Oh, you know who died else? Bernie DeKoven was 76. He was an American video game designer of Alien Garden.
He sent it to
Never
us.
played it.
I
Debbie
never heard
Lee
it.
Carrington,
Debbie Lee Carrington died?
How old was she?
58, American actress and stunt woman, Return of the Jedi, Total Recall, and Bride of Chucky.
Oh, that's sad.
That is
It
sad.
was pretty sad.
And, that's
And
our...
So that's our deep, dark, depressing news. How do we cheer up the listeners after listening to all that death?
Well,
With
we
jokes.
thank them for listening to our episode.
Yeah.
Because we definitely appreciate
We gotta
it.
thank your fans too.
Well, yes, I thank the fans of the Rusted Robot podcast, affectionately known as Rusties.
Oh, that's awesome.
I affectionately thank the listeners of the Soul Forge podcast, who I don't have a great name for. I was thinking Soldiers, like soldiers.
Oh,
but
God.
Soldiers.
That's way too hip-hop for me.
I'm the whitest guy you know.
Yeah.
So hip hop does not work
No,
for
it does
me.
not compute.
Well, Soldier, that's how you spell Soldier Boy.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
what
like-
I
Right,
was...
right. I could do forgers, but then it sounds like they're criminals. So what are the fans of the Soul Forge called? There's not enough of them.
I
really
think
to-
they're
The
woken.
Forging Soldiers.
I think they're just woken. They are
Oh,
woken.
Yes, they're woke if they're. They're just awesome for listening.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
And then you got the Space Jammers.
Yeah, we got the Space Jammers.
Is that what you call them?
No, I don't know what we call them.
I think
Actually,
Space
to be
Jammers
honest,
is-
Call them the Space Cadets.
I call them Jason because he's the only one that I know listens.
Very nice. See, it's because you haven't got on iTunes yet.
It's-
But no matter what fan you are of any of these three podcasts, make sure you go and leave a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice so more people can download the episodes, find it, and we can build a bigger, better community.
That's right.
We'll see you next week, and I got a question for you, Trin. Do you have a goodbye for us?
Yes, I do. Just remember, be excellent to each other. But before we go, remember, if anybody is battling with severe diseases, remember somebody cares about you, and remember you can do it.
You're not alone.
Look at that. She's more positive than you.
Yeah, she's a
Where
natural.
did she get that from?
I don't know. You're a natural. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Find us on social media such as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. At Space Jam Podcast on Twitter. You can follow the hashtag Space Jam Podcast on Instagram. And you can also find and like and join the Space Jam Podcast group and page found on Facebook. Follow Robin at Robin Wild on Twitter and at DC Wild on Instagram. Follow Wit at Emperor Wit on both Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for listening.